Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? Today we are going over Silver Centaur's defense. He recently unlocked Doom, and we have been doing two ends of the spectrum. We previously did Mr. Bargain's video. I'll leave links in the description to that. That's entry level into war, what you should be doing when you don't have enough tunes to fill out your defense. But on this end, Silver's got a pretty darn good defense. And we're saving his Doom team for last because I want to talk to you about what you can do with Doom once you unlock him. A lot of people are starting to unlock him anymore. We're seeing lots of green borders out there. So we'll talk about that. We grade on 5 different criteria. Yeah, 5. Who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISO 8s, and what kind of mood I'm in. Team number 1 is Wave 1 Avengers. Now, Silver told me that he'd like to replace this with an interesting team involving Maria Hill and Nick Fury that's supposed to soak up a symbiotes team or even an Axemen team in preparation for some of his other defenses. Those are the kind of things you want to be thinking about when you build these high-end defenses. It's not what's going to net you a defensive victory, but what's going to soak up the good offensive teams in preparation for what's at the end of your lineup that is going to net you those defensive victories. Because right now there's really only 2, maybe 3 teams at the at like Plat 1, Plat 2 level that are really doing any good. I know Diamond level is all about Heroes for Hire and Infinity Watch, and that's it. But when you're in the Platinum, or when you're in Plat 1 and 2, you can kind of include some other things like some Doom hybrids and other stuff. So, team number 1, Wave 1 Avengers with Thor as the 5th, including Black Widow. A lot of people are taking her out for that Skilletary team. I really like her on this team. I see other people swapping her out for a Sif, because Sif has synergy with Thor, but that takes away from Hulk's capabilities, but that doesn't really matter because everybody's countering this with the Hella Natural or Supernatural team and stunning Hulk anyways. So Sif actually is a pretty good option if you're going to do that. And then since Barton doesn't have his partner in crime, you might as well put in Captain Marvel for Barton. But it doesn't matter. This is the original and, in my opinion, the best version of it. The only thing I see wrong with this is I'd like to see Hulk at a bit higher power level. And then you're going to want to boost this team when war starts because you want those deflects on Hulk, giving him that extra resistance check against the stun. If they can't stun Hulk, it makes the team a lot tougher, especially if they don't get the blinds on Thor. Then he's smacking him with the hammer, and it goes really, really well. Yeah, and so I like the ISOs. I like the placements. Other than the power level on the Hulk, this is a really good setup. I'm going to give you an A- for that. And team number 2 is the Axemen. Now, I don't like attacking into Axemen because there's not a lot of stuff that beats them. Black Order does it. You can very easily punch down into, or punch up, in fact, into them with the Shadowlands team. But I specifically built my Shadowlands team because I hate Marauders. And so I always save my Shadowlands for Marauders. But this is a really good team. They've got strikers on Jubilee and Bishop, skirmishers on... I see. We swapped out Kitty for Storm. That's interesting. Hey, that's new. I like that. Storm's got a lot of synergy with Beast. She's going to be getting twice the charges because Beast is there. So there's some good synergy. And you know what? Kitty ain't doing a whole lot for this team. She's just putting like, what is it? Not resistance. Disrupt. She's putting disrupt on people. So you're not really getting much out of her. Almost no damage. I don't like Kitty for that. So yeah, I like Storm. You're going to be bringing up the damage output on this team a little bit better. She's not going to get the speed up like Kitty would, but who cares? She's going to be doing lots more damage. So that's pretty good. I would like to see Storm's power levels brought up a bit more. Yeah, and you could make Storm a Raider, I think. I think Storm might want to be a Raider. You might get a few more of those vulnerables put on the field with her as a Raider. So try that out. Let's see. Anything else I can think of? Not really. That's actually looking pretty good. I like that you've got Iceman next to Bishop. He revives if he's killed once. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I dig it. I'm going to give you an A- for that. Bring up the power level on Storm. I think you should check out that Raider ISO and see what happens. Team number 3 is the Hydra plus Zemo. Standard Hydra 1.0 is really easy to beat anymore, like a Black Bolt or a good power armor. Sometimes people just, I don't know, punch down into it with a big team. There's things that you can do against it. When you throw Zemo on there, it makes it a lot tougher. It basically forces you to come into this team with a Zemo of your own. So I like the ISOs. Yeah, I like the ISOs. I think your placement could be better. I think that you should be putting Red Skull right in the middle. Yeah, I think you should put Red Skull right in the middle. But I like the Fortifier ISOs on here. You built them up pretty good. I wouldn't go level 5 on any of those. Maybe level 5 ISO on Zemo. But this is actually a pretty potent team. As you get further into war, this team becomes less reliable. People are just getting rid of it. They're using it on offense to go after like heroes for hire. You use Red Skull, Zemo, and I think Trooper. You check your power levels and your health levels, and you go into that team. It works really well because the Trooper takes all the hits from Colleen Wing and gets revived all the time, and your team stays alive long enough to let a Kestrel do her work or a Surfer do his job. But this is pretty good. This is still, at least for Plat 1 and 2, this is pretty endgame stuff. I think when you get on into Diamond, then it's going to be, gone and done. But yeah, I like this. Mess around with placement. I'm going to give you an A- for that. I think there's slightly better uses for this team. Maybe a better placement, but it's still really, really good. Here we go. Mercs. This is the Hela Merc that I was talking about in the previous video. We've got Lieutenant here. He's adjacent to Taskmaster and Riot Guard, giving them heals when they're attacked. Taskmaster is going to be one of the primary targets, and Riot Guard is going to be taunting all the time. So when they get attacked and they're adjacent to Lieutenant starts healing people up. Hela is going to be getting those deflects from Riot Guard. That's really good. And Loki's just doing Loki things out there on the end. He's basically there to kind of cause problems a little bit later in the match with his stealth feature, trying to get some defense down out there and stuff like that. We've got Skirmisher on Taskmaster, Skirmisher on Loki, Striker on Hela. I think that Hela should probably be a Raider for this team. And you might consider switching these healer ISOs to a Striker, also trying to get the 3-hit combos off of Taskmaster. Honestly, it's kind of on the line at this point. Maybe this is a pretty good one. You're going to have lots of vulnerables being set up by Taskmaster and Loki. And Hela's 7 red star, 193 power, 5. Yeah, that might be the way to go. You're going to get a lot of damage out of Hela. So, okay. I like this. Keep them heals then. We're going to forget about the 3-hit combo. I dig it. Yeah, I dig it. I'm going to give you an A for this team. I think you thought it out. You did pretty good. I like it. Team number 5, Infinity Watch, with a 7 red star Star-Lord. I really hope that was a pull and not a purchase. But if it was a pull, then you're using him well in here because he's giving speed to Gamora. That's actually a really good fit for this team on defense. He's also tossing out some blinds out there. The teams that you're going to come into this with aren't going to worry so much about the blind because you're going to be coming into this with an Infinity Watch. The only way to beat Infinity Watch reliably is with Infinity Watch. You can make an uber hybrid team that can beat them, but you're not doing that in war. You might be doing it in arena. You're not doing that in war. So, as for your placement, I think that you should have Gamora front and center in the middle. Oh, I see what you're doing. You want her adjacent to Star-Lord so that he's giving her energy. she's the damage dealer of the team. No, that's correct. Outsmarted me again, Silver. Dang you. Okay, you've got Skirmisher, Healer on Moondragon. Now, normally you're going to have her as a striker, but on defense, a healer is going to give this team a little bit more sustainability. Just a little bit. Not a lot, because she's so darn slow. She's not passing out those rejuves. But when she does, those rejuves are pretty darn big. She's got like a gazillion point hit bar. So, yeah, I like that. Striker. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm going to give you an A for that team. That is a monster defense. This is the one that everybody's like, well, we got to deal with that. And the only way to deal with this is going to be with an Infinity Watch of your own. Now, you can go into this with an Infinity Watch, the 4 girls, and like Kestrel or Surfer or even Sam Wilson. He works too. You don't have to have Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock is proving unnecessary, although Adam Warlock is the best version of this for a defense. Yeah, gave you the A. Here we go. Heroes for hire. This is where your Kestrel's at. You are in a defense down adjacent room, or a security adjacent room, or security itself. I don't know. You got defense down. That's why you got Kestrel in here. The opposing team starts with defense down, and anybody that gets hit, she's proccing. She's going in with that well-balanced passive of hers and just giving them that love tap that absolutely nukes them off the field. Way to go, Scopely, for balancing that out so well. So then, let's see. You got Skirmisher on Misty, Striker on Colleen. That's correct. Healer on Iron Fist, and Fortifier on Luke Cage. That's interesting. I don't normally see Fortifier on Luke Cage. I bet that's frustrating, though. I bet that's really frustrating. Yeah, there's no point in putting Healer on him. I mean, they die and revive before the rejuves pop off, so there's not a lot of point there. In fact, now that I think about it, with dying and reviving so fast with that mechanic that they have, you might want to think about taking Healer off of Iron Fist and making him either a Skirmisher or a Striker. Because, like I said, those rejuves, they don't happen, you know? Proper placement. Proper ISOs, technically. I'd like to see you get Colleen and Misty up to level 3 ISO. Get some stars on them when they become available, but I mean, that's where everybody's got them right now, unless you're spending big bucks, and you really shouldn't. This team, at high ends, I mean, it scales really well. You can put the T4s in it, you can put the gear in it, and they become an incredibly challenging team to beat. The only reliable counter for them is the Infinity Watch. So when you're running Infinity Watch and H for H on defense, then it's just like, okay, did the enemy do the same thing? It becomes that a game of rock, paper, scissors. I believe Philosopher said that. Rock, paper, scissors at the high end with these two teams. But I like this. I'm going to give you an A for it. I think you did it right. Now, this is team number 8. We'll come back to team number 7. That's the Doom team I want to talk about. This one is your Marauders, and you're doing everything right here. This is how you do the old school, basic, standard-ass Marauder team right here. This is how it's done. This is an A. However, if you want to make it better, you can do things like toss in Magneto in place of, I don't know, Sabretooth or... Ugh, great. Now Work's calling me right in the middle of a video. Love that. Okay, so you can replace Magneto with, or Sabretooth with Magneto, or Mystique with Magneto, and you can do all sorts of fun things like that. Who else? Let's see. I see that Blob in here is kind of fun, giving the deflex to Strife, and putting the deflex, like you put Strife, then Blob, and then Emma. And that makes it a little tougher for that Shadowlands to make things stick. Not much tougher, but a little tougher. With this power level, by the way, you kind of got to bring in a big Shadowlands team. Like I can't punch up 200k on this team at this level. You know, if they were like, I don't know, if they're like 600k, my 400k Shadowlands could do it. But I've got to be bringing in like a 650, maybe even a 700k Shadowlands, because it just becomes a nightmare with this team. The heals coming off of Sinister are ridiculous. Yeah. So, also you can put in Minerva on this team. That way, if you're coming into it with an X Factor, they don't bring Mum because she heals off of all those Mum kills. But But yeah, it's a good looking team. I'm going to give you an A for the basic. Pretty soon, we're probably going to be breaking this team up, using them as a hybrid on offense and pieces of them on defense and defensive hybrids, because there are the Shadowlands, the X Factor. You can even get in there with a few other teams. I mean, of course, Black Order, maybe even Axemen if you know how to play it right. So it's a good team, though. It's built exactly the way the standard build should be done. Team number 7, the last and final team that I want to talk about. This is the new Doom team that Silver has put together. And he's put some serious thought into this. It's a very intriguing team. So, we've got Red Guardian over here with the healer ISO 8. He's starting off with a taunt. So when you come into this, you're going to need Zemo to knock that taunt away. Zemo will clear it. And then Zemo is going to have to ability block Squirrel Girl, because Squirrel Girl will immediately clear the heal block or the ability block that you'd want to put on Doom. So instead of putting the ability block on Doom, you have to put it on her. Now you've got to bring in somebody else that can ability block Doom, like your own Surfer, right? So now we've got Zemo and Surfer just to land the ability block on Doom. You're going to have to bring in some heavy hitters to finish Doom off. He's got the stars, the power level in Doom. He's maxed out. That's what you do with Doom. You just max him out. So you're going to need some heavy hitters to finish him off. Yes, Infinity Watch can take this team. I don't think that Black Order can take this team. No, Black Order won't be able to take this team because you won't be able to ability block him. You might be able to stun her. No, because then they can't. Yeah, Black Order's probably not going to be able to take this team. If you happen to knock either one of these two heroes below 50%, then over here you've got Miss Marvel picking up the taunt, and now you're screwed. And Doom is taken off again and blowing you up. All the while you are trying to deal with Doom, you have Surfer just lighting you up, screwing up your whole game with his RNG, because he's landing ability blocks, disrupts, heal blocks, stealing your positive effects, giving you negative effects. He's really making life miserable for you while you're trying to deal with Doom. This is a very frustrating team. I think if I went into this team, I would need Silver Surfer, Zemo, Hela, because then I could spread the ability blocks off of Squirrel Girl onto the rest of the team. And then I might bring in somebody like Red Skull for a little more speed. And since I'm bringing in Red Skull, I'd bring in one of his minions to help give him a little more longevity. But honestly, a Hydra 3.0 team is not even a reliable counter to this. This is a really well thought out team. It's going to be very frustrating, and it's probably going to require an Infinity Watch or a lot of meta, large, powerful characters like Silver Surfer, Kestrel, that sort of thing to deal with. This is what you need to be doing at the end game. You need to be coming up with tricky stuff that your opponents don't know exactly what to deal with, so that they might make a mistake. That's how you get those defensive victories. And by going through all the rest of the things that we've seen here, you got rid of Shadowlands with this. You maybe got rid of your Infinity Watch with this. Nope, you got rid of Infinity Watch with this, so you use Shadowlands with this. Oh, you're going to have a huge X Factor to deal with this, which means you've got nothing left to go into this except maybe Silver Surfer and Kestrel. Let's see if there's something else. Oh, you had to use Zemo to deal with this team, so you don't have Zemo to deal with the last team. Over here, this might have taken up your Shadowlands or even a Black Order. Like, you've just used up everything good before you get to this big question mark of what do I do? So this is a well thought out defense. I'm going to give you the A+ for this Silver. There are ways to beat all of these teams. No team is unbeatable. There is not a team that cannot be one-shot in this game by someone or something. However, Silver Centaur has certainly made it very challenging for anybody to come across this defense. Buddy, I'm glad you're in my alliance. All right, this has been Defense Up of Silver Centaur. This video ran a little bit long, but that's okay. It was a fun one. If you like what you saw, leave a like. Talk about stuff in the description. I love theory crafting. You can find me on Twitch streaming Thursdays 9 to noon. Remember, don't just have a good game, be good to each other too. Thanks. Bye.